Escape to a bygone age of mystery, danger, and romance as you immerse yourself into the world of June's Journey, a hidden object mystery mobile game that puts your detective skills to the test. Join June as she unravels the truth behind her sister's mysterious death and use your observation skills to find hidden clues and uncover dark secrets. You can even explore stunning hidden object scenes from New York parlors to Parisian sidewalks. As each new chapter reveals captivating mysteries, can you unmask the truth? Download June's Journey for free today on iOS and Android.
Mochi Health is here to help you start your weight loss journey with caring, personalized support. Meet one-on-one with board-certified obesity doctors and registered dietitians who truly listen and understand your unique needs. Eligible patients can access affordable GLP-1 medications delivered right to their door each month. No insurance? No problem. Mochi Health accepts FSA and HSA, making care accessible and affordable. And with 24/7 customer service, you'll never feel alone on your path to better health. Get started with Mochi Health today. Take the free quiz at joinmochi.com and use code AUDIO40 at checkout for $40 off your first month of membership. That's joinmochi.com with promo code AUDIO40.
Ladies, is everyone trying to fix their health concerns with unproven gummies and tricks? Well, thank goodness, Low Libido has a real clinically proven treatment. Low libido can be so frustrating, but there is a treatment called Addyi, ADDYI. Addyi is the first and only FDA-approved pill proven to boost sexual desire in certain premenopausal women. Isn't that great? A clinically proven option for your low libido that comes from a doctor, not a gas station. Learn more at Addyi.com and take charge of your sexual health with a treatment that's backed by science. Remember, that's Addyi, ADDYI.com.
Addyi, or flibanserin, is for premenopausal women with acquired generalized hypoactive sexual desire disorder, HSDD, who have not had problems with low sexual desire in the past, who have low sexual desire no matter the type of sexual activity, the situation, or the sexual partner. The low sexual desire is troubling to them and is not due to a medical or mental health problem, problems in the relationship, or medicine or other drug use. Addyi is not for use in men or to enhance sexual performance. Your risk of severe low blood pressure and fainting is increased if you drink 1 to 2 standard alcoholic drinks close in time to your Addyi dose. Wait at least 2 hours after drinking before taking Addyi at bedtime. Your risk of severe low blood pressure and fainting is also increased if you take certain prescriptions, over-the-counter or herbal medications, or have liver problems. Low blood pressure and fainting can happen when you take Addyi, even if you don't drink alcohol or take other medicines. Do not take if you are allergic to any of the ingredients in Addyi. Allergic reactions may include hives, itching, or trouble breathing. Sleepiness, sometimes serious, can occur. Common side effects include dizziness, nausea, tiredness, difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep, and dry mouth. See full PI and medication guide, including boxed warning, at addyi.com/PI or call 844-PINK-PILL. Addyi.
That's Addyi, ADDYI.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder Express.
Yay and choo-choo!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Petrogallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmy Wisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us because we have a wild story today. This is really 10 pounds of murder in a 2-pound bag.
Boy.
This probably could have been a regular episode almost, but we're gonna put it all together and concentrate. We're gonna do murder concentrated today. It's wild stuff.
You hold the bag, I'll stomp it in.
Let's
go.
do it, babe. Let's do it. All right. So before we get to that, definitely shutupandgivememurder.com. Tickets for live shows. First up is the virtual live show. It is April 19th.
Yeah.
That's the 420 virtual live show, just like a regular live show, except you can be anywhere on the planet that has internet. We don't care. You can, if you can get the Wi-Fi, you can sit in the middle of the Serengeti watching lions do things and watch the show if you want. Just like a regular live show, except you are wherever the hell you want to be. We're going to have costumes. I have crazy bongs and shit to make Jimmy smoke out of. And it's available for 2 weeks after the April 19th air date as well. So you can watch it anytime and buy it anytime in there. Also get your tickets for regular live shows. In May, we'll be in St. Louis and Chicago. St. Louis, I think, is sold out, but Chicago has tickets left. Get them right now. You don't want to let St. Louis outsell you. That's not okay for Chicago, I don't think. So get in there, shutupandgivememurder.com, as well as listen to our other two shows, Crime in Sports, which we are doing an Evel Knievel series right now.
We are, yeah.
Smack dab in the middle of a very long Evel Knievel series with a lot of episodes, very crazy stuff, and then also Your Stupid Opinions. It's just hilarious, and you should listen to it. Us read people's complaints about things from the internet. Patreon.com/crimeinsports is where you get all the bonus material. All you need to be is $5 a month or above, and you get, first of all, hundreds of bonus episodes you've never heard before immediately upon subscription, then new ones every other week, one Crime in Sports, one Small Town Murder, and you get it all. This week is no different for Crime and Sports this week. We're going to do part 2 of more sports songs. Okay. Can't wait. More athletes singing horribly. We'll hear more of Manny Pacquiao breaking glass with his voice and Chris Webber attempting to rap. It's going to be hilarious. I can't wait for that. Then for Small Town Murder, it's a con man from the 80s in New York City, a guy named Louis Carlucci, otherwise known as Con Juan or the Con Man Casanova. He had like...
Sounds handsome.
He's not at all. That's the great part. He scammed all these women. It's insanity. And they couldn't find him, and they didn't know who he was. And he was like this mystery person for like years. It's somehow he went under the radar. So we'll talk about that. Patreon.com/crimeinsports. And you get a shout out at the end of the regular show, too. Yeah. Jimmy will mispronounce your name. That said, I think it's time, everybody. What do you say here? Let's all sit back.
Oh, boy.
Let's clear the lungs, and let's all shout. Shut up and give me murder. Let's do this, everybody.
Okay.
Let's go on a trip, shall we? Let's do it. We're going down to Louisiana this week. Okay. Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that.
You heard of it? Yeah, and it's a little bit bigger of a place, but where this whole thing happened was on like a dirt road and the edge of it was pretty rural. This is definitely some small town stuff here. So Lake Charles, it's in southwestern Louisiana, kind of all the way in the corner down there. It is 3 hours over to New Orleans. It's 2 hours to Houston, so it's closer to Houston than New Orleans in distance. And it's about 3 hours if you go straight north up to Keithville, Louisiana, which was our last Louisiana episode. It's been a while. That was episode 518. Conspiracy of Fools, that one was. And that was everybody conspiring to kill one man and take all his stuff. Like everyone he knew in the world was all in one big conspiracy against him. So that's a funny episode. Population here is 83,444. Okay. So a little bit bigger. It was about 70,000 when the murder happened, but still, in that ballpark. Median household income here is about 20,000 lower than the national average. It's 69, or national average is 69,000. Here it's 49,913. So
it's a very not great area. I mean, it's swampy. It's not a good place.
Well, there's a lot of petrochemical places, but there's also a lot of outdoor activities and lake life and shit like that. Right. So it's a real weird, different mix. Median home cost here $179,400.
Very affordable.
Very affordable. So the nickname here, they have a nickname, actually two nicknames. One is, this is not a great nickname, the Lake Area.
Yeah.
Oh, well then, that's very unique to this particular location. There's no other lakes in the country.
Don't go to Minnesota, fuckers. You're going to be blown away.
And then there's Louisiana's Playground, which Bourbon Street may disagree with you.
The whole town of New Orleans feels like it probably has more to do.
Wherever people just take their boobs out indiscriminately, that's the playground. That's Louisiana's Playground. It's not at the lake, my friends. It is.
Yeah, if your 8-year-old can see nipples, that's a much better place.
That is a playground. Little bit of history of this town here. It's had several different names originally. First, it was Port du Lafitte, which was Port of Jean Lafitte. John Lafitte was, you'll hear about it.
A big deal.
Yeah, he was a big deal down there. There's a whole pirate festival with him in it that we'll talk about here. It was first incorporated in 1857 as Charleston after an early settler, Charles Sallier, or Sallier. It's probably French. March 16th, 1867, it was reincorporated as the city of Lake Charles. So they figured it out in the 1860s. Then in 1910, quote, the Great Fire devastated the whole city.
This place is on fire, too. It's so wet.
As damp as it is down there. Everything
figure that out, guys?
Covered in dampness and dew. It doesn't matter. They rebuilt it and expanded it. the town as well. The Charleston Hotel was built in 1929, and during and after World War II, industrial growth was a big deal here with the arrival of the petrochemical refineries, which is where all the jobs are here for the most part here. And then Houston has a lot of that too. This is like the petrochemical belt.
Right. This is a lot of oil pulling, mining.
In 2005, the city was damaged badly by Hurricane Rita.
Sure.
In 2020, it was battered by 2 hurricanes, Category 4 Hurricane Laura and Hurricane Delta also that year.
I didn't hear about either of those.
2 of those. Wow. Lake Charles, after the hurricanes that happened, 2 of them that hit it, was described as, quote, as if 20 tornadoes came in and wiped the city. Just destroyed shit. The southern portion of the city was then also damaged in 2021 by an EF2 tornado as well. Yeah. So this place is, you are dodging weather like crazy in this place.
And how do you call yourself Louisiana's playground when the actual one got obliterated 20 years ago?
And
we
then
still talk about it.
It just keeps
I haven't
happening.
heard of yours yet.
Keeps happening. Well, I guess those are ones that I remember. Hurricane Rita, that was a big one.
Do you?
Yeah, that was a big one, but I don't remember Laura and Delta? Even though they just happened. But that was 2020. There was a lot of shit going on in 2020.
It was a busy year.
It's a busy year.
There was a Delta
we were
strain
watching Tiger King and stuff. It was a lot going on. We had shit to do.
You can't have a hurricane named after a strain of disease and expect us to hear it.
Not at all. Reviews of this town. We'll just do a couple here because we're running late on time. Here's 5 stars. Lake Charles is the sportsman's paradise. There's great food and great people. There's something here for everyone. Every sentence has an exclamation point after it, by the way. The only thing I would change is I would like for Lake Charles to have something like a Dave & Buster's or for a skating rink to be brought back to town. Just missing a Dave & Buster's and this place would be perfect.
Need a B-dubs, anything.
Anything. Here's a 1 star, and I'm reading this because a 10-year-old wrote it, and I think that's hilarious. As a 10-year-old living in Lake Charles, I can happily say this city sucks. This kid's got potential, right?
It sucks.
First, the crime rate here is so horrible, I don't even know why one would let their family grow up here. And don't get me started on the entertainment. All you have to do here is go to a crappy casino and hope you win some money. And then all caps with a period after each word, I hate this city. And I'm going to read the first couple of lines of one just because it's hilarious. 1 star, a city of scumbags, lowlives, and thieves. What the fuck? This city really sucks. I don't like Lake Charlesians. They're all scumbags.
It's like 1820s port.
It's so funny. And then they go on to describe it from there of why they're scumbags, but it's really fucking funny. They even say the kids in the schools are some of the meanest in the country. I've been to all of them.
Everywhere.
I've been bullied by the best, and these kids, I'll tell you what. Things to do here. The Louisiana Pirate Festival. Yeah. That's right. They talk about Jean Lafitte and his band of buccaneers who are fleeing enemy ships and heading west to Galveston and all this type of shit. So now they have a pirate.
Do they have a nickname?
A pirate themed festival. I don't know. They just call him Jean Lafitte. No clue. Okay. So they're just going to they're going to have a festival over this, and it's pirate themed entertainment. Begins and ends the festivities and promotes the festival year round. They've been doing it for 66 years now. And you can find out your pirate name very easily here.
There we go.
The first letter of your last name. Mm-hmm. So that would be for you a W. So that would be Prickly.
Oh, so they've got words attached to that. Okay.
Yeah, so you'd be Prickly, and I would be, this is the first letter of your last name. So I would be Squinty.
Yeah. Oh.
Squinty and Prickly.
I think those are backwards.
And then your birth month. So you'd be February. So you'd be the Cruel Prickly.
Is it Prickly Cruel or Cruel Prickly?
I have no idea. Oh, I guess Prickly the Cruel.
Oh.
Or I would be Squinty the Landlubber. Okay.
That's the most bitch-ass nickname I've ever heard.
The dumbest thing ever.
They ruined it.
They ruined it. So that's how that goes anyway.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some murder. What do you say here?
Okay.
All right. Let's talk about a man first. This is William Davis, goes by Brian. Don't ask. I don't know.
Might have.
Why not? Brian Davis. He's born July 9th, 1969. He's born in New Orleans and raised just outside of New Orleans in a small town called Independence, Louisiana. It's a nice little small town outside New Orleans. He's got parents named Bill and Catherine. It looks like he has a brother and a sister from what I could gather here.
Great.
He graduated from Independence High School, and he has 3 kids. So at some point there's a divorce because he has child support payments and all this going on too.
Poor bastard.
3 kids from what I can gather, Douglas, Danielle, and Darla.
Oh, boy.
They went with all D's on that one.
Did it.
He's big into fishing and outdoor shit, as you would be in the Lake Charles area. Also enjoyed, he's big into shooting. He likes like target shooting a lot. So he does
He
like
has a Cabela's punch card.
dude, this guy, yeah, you know it. This guy has
The
like
amount of Bass Pro he owns. Shit.
he has several of those jackets with lots of pockets in them. A lot of those. So he does competition shooting, also plays golf and sings karaoke.
What a guy.
Well, we'll also talk about he also loves video poker, as we'll get into.
Really?
Oh, boy, does he love video poker. Maybe more than anything. So from the year 2000 on, he worked as a sales manager for Union National Life Insurance Company. So he's going to be, for the remainder here, that's where he works. Now, he's got a wife here that he gets married in 2008, but they're together for years before that. And her name is Robin Little, Robin with a Y, by the way. Robin Little,
I like that.
and she'll be Robin Little Davis after that. So, Robin Little Davis.
If your last name's Little, you can't hyphenate it. It just
No.
sounds funny.
Whatever it is, you're just making it small now. Doesn't matter. You could be Little Godzilla, and it would sound funny.
That sounds awesome.
It's Little Godzilla. I want to watch Little Godzilla. That's the movie I want to watch.
Damn near rhymes, for Christ's sake. I
He's
love
like
it.
4'6", and he just fucks shit up, though. Really, don't get in his way.
Destroys your Hot Wheels collection.
Absolutely fucks up like Barbie doll houses and shit. Just crushes them. He can still shoot fire though. So he met the Robin Little at work, and they end up getting married. Like I said, in 2008. This is the 3rd marriage for Brian, and the 2nd for Robin. And Brian has a history. All of his marriages end because he cheats on his wife. That's how this works.
Make a lot of mistakes.
Brian makes a couple mistakes here and there. From what everybody said, outside of the infidelity, he's a very good guy and a nice guy that everybody likes. But boy, he can't keep his dick in his pants. And I'll show you the guy. He's not an attractive, conventionally attractive man. He's a heavy set guy. Yeah. Bald, got like a Michael Strahan gap in his teeth, shit like that. Yeah, like he's, you wouldn't look at him and go, "Oh, baby, fucking, I am sitting in a puddle." You don't hear that very often. So he must be a really nice guy, is all I have to say, or funny or something.
Has to be, yeah.
So with Robin Little comes Carol Nolan Saltzman, who goes by Sissy.
That's the daughter?
Sissy Saltzman. No. That is her best friend, who's always with her.
Okay.
She lives with the couple. She lives with them.
No.
I'm going to show you the house, and there is a shitload of people living in this fucking house, and I don't know where they're all fitting, because it's not a house, it's a trailer, and I don't know where they're all fitting. We'll put it that way.
What the shit?
So Sissy Saltzman, born in 1967, Robin's best friend, lives with them for pretty much from the year before they get married and onward. Just lives with them. Now, Justin here, this is Robin's son, Justin. Okay. And he's an adult. He must be an adult because he works with everybody at the insurance place.
Really?
He works there too. So, yeah. Now, they have this son, and she also has a daughter named Kelsey, who seems to be older as well. And she also seems to live there kind of too. So, I don't know what's going on. Now, apparently, Robin had gotten separated from her ex-husband at this point in 2000, but stayed legally married to him, according to the son, so that she could keep him on her medical insurance.
Keep who on her medical insurance?
The ex-husband.
Who gives a fuck about his health?
Well, apparently he couldn't work because he had a bad back, and it would have been hard for him to get medical insurance, so she kept him on her medical insurance, which is pretty insane behavior for an ex. Yeah. That's crazy. The thing is, this guy died in 2008.
Oh.
Andrew died. That's Andrew's, her ex-husband, died in a car accident in 2008.
Okay.
So Kelsey said that they were asked, she was asked later on, was there any problem with the life insurance money with that? And Kelsey replied, the problem was that she was the beneficiary and she got all the money. She said that the mother told her, Robin told her that her dad only had a $25,000 life insurance, but then when they were at the father's house cleaning it, she found a $100,000 policy.
That's
to her mother.
Best choice you ever make to clean up his house.
No shit. So she said that this whole situation was shady. This is the daughter, because Robin bought a Trailblazer, a Chevy Trailblazer truck with cash, bought our guy here bought Davis a new boat.
Oh.
And with cash, and remodeled the house with new hardwood floors, new kitchen appliances, and hired a professional painter to paint the entire house and a professional landscaper to landscape it.
That's how I grieve too.
That's the best way to do it. Well,
Jeez.
It is her ex-husband, but still.
That's how I would definitely grieve my ex-wife.
That's what I mean. Spend it. But the kids are upset that they didn't get any part of this.
Yeah.
They got nothing. She used the money and basically spent it on a new house to be with her new boyfriend at the time, or her new husband, because as soon as he died, they got married. That's why they didn't get married before that, is because she was keeping this guy on his health insurance, which is a great. Will you marry me? Well, I'd like to, but you see,
I'd sure love to.
Here's why I can't. That would be a tough proposal rejection for a guy.
Yeah. Can we add my ex to your health insurance?
Is that possible? Can we do that? So Kelsey also described Robin as being unfair to other people. She said that's just kind of how she was. Kelsey described Sissy as like her second mom, because she's always there. Oh, okay. She said that Sissy lived with them for 4 years, never paying any rent or even buying groceries. Wow. She said that Sissy didn't have any money and did not have to have any money as long as she hung around with my mom, basically. My mom just took care of her. So I don't know what's going on here between these two, but it doesn't sound like a typical friendship.
It's very bizarre.
This sounds like that
a
Ruby Frankie situation almost. Right, you know what I mean? He's going to be sleeping on the couch soon.
Well, she's getting hot oil massages in the other room.
With candles lit in the other room. So here's the house. It's at 1314 Wedgwood Drive. Okay. And right now, currently, it is worth $40,300.
That
in this market. Okay, look, there it is.
That's a free. Oh, wow. That's 40 grand?
40 grand for a trailer.
Yeah.
It's just a trailer.
That's not bad.
It's a long trailer with a shed out back there, but
yeah, if you're an old person, that'd be with a driveway, that's great.
And in this house, we know the couple lives. We know Sissy lives. There's another woman named Stephanie that lives here at this time as well.
What the fuck?
And Kelsey seems to come and go and have keys and work and live here too. So I don't know how many adults live in this house.
Grown-ups.
There's too many adults for one house. Now, the ladies, Sissy and Robin, get into some trouble. They both worked at the insurance company, and they're both fired after Sissy was caught stealing money. And Robin, the way they put it, quote, failed to speak up about her knowledge of the crime. In other words, they stole money together is what that means, probably. And even getting fired, they weren't, at odds with each other or anything. So everything was fine. Later on, somebody said everywhere Robin went, Sissy was there, period.
Okay.
Now, March 2009, Robin learns that her husband here, Brian, of a year, basically, was having an affair at work. I don't know if this is as soon as she got fired or whatever, but this affair has been going on for like a year and a half. So he was planning a wedding while having an affair.
I mean,
that's remarkable to me.
A consistent one.
Remarkable. Why? Why get married? You want to have affairs. Have affairs. Don't get married. The hell's wrong with you?
Don't even be in a relationship, man.
That's what I mean. What the fuck? So anyway, she found out about the affair, Robin does, and confronted this Fanny Dietz. That's the lady's name who's having an affair. Fanny Dietz. Having an affair with Fanny. I don't know a Fanny that's not smoking hot. We all know that. Now, Brian has a video poker habit, let's call it. that became such an issue that he became, and this is not normally, he pays his bills on time and he's very good at shit like that. He became behind in his child support payments and the mortgage. There's a mortgage on that trailer.
And he's behind.
And he's behind on it. I can't. What the fuck is the payment on a? I mean, what are we talking about here?
And back then, it was probably
$300 a month, maybe. Yeah.
Oh God, I can't. If it's $600, his
that's crazy.
Homeowners insurance is outrageous.
He'll have it paid off in no time. Wow, yeah, that's ridiculous. There should be no homeowners insurance on that shit. So Robin also likes to gamble.
Really?
Oh yeah, the two of them gamble. If there's one thing,
he's gambling every day.
The only thing worse than one person in a relationship gambling is both people in a relationship gambling, like excessively more than you can afford, not for fun.
Right.
So Justin, who is Robin's son, knew of the affair as well because he worked with them. So he knew what was going on. Apparently, also according to Justin, Brian would stop to play video poker on the way to work in the mornings. Dude,
I gotta pop by and grab my coffee.
Wow. Anything you do on the way to work is a
couple quick hands of poker.
You are addicted. If you stop for a drink on the way to work, you have a problem. That's called a problem. Anything you have to do before you even get to work is a problem. So,
especially if it costs you money.
Oh, that might an unspecified amount could be anything. And then sometimes on the way home, he'd stop and play more poker.
Wow.
I guess it escalated in 2009 is when his poker really shot up and he started getting behind on things and everything like that. And Robin gambles as well here. And she also goes out to eat at a diner, KD's Diner in Lake Charles all the time. And there is poker machines at the diner. Sure. So she is always at the diner having a bite to eat, playing some poker. She's a regular. So, June 29th, 2009. Okay. Now, Brian is out with Robin looking at boats because that's what you do when you're behind on your child support and your mortgage. You go boat shopping, obviously.
See what the trade-in value of yours is.
What are we doing here, dude? No, he's just shopping for new boats. He apparently they looked for boats around the Lake Charles area, and then he apparently went on his own to Beaumont, Texas, which is about an hour and a half away, to boat shop there.
He's crossing state lines to boat shop and
is behind on his trailer payments.
Fannie Mac is looking for him.
He is behind on his double wide payment, and he's doing this, which doesn't sound.
Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, is that what it is?
It's that's what it is. Yeah. I figured we'd just let it go, but yeah, I wasn't going to correct you on it. Fuck it. So that was one of those. I was like, close enough. Whatever. Yeah, that's exactly what I was like. We don't need to get caught up on that. So he ended up not coming home that night, which I guess there was some really bad, violent thunderstorms that happened that night. So that's what they were attributing it to. Was he must have got stuck in the weather up there. You know what I mean? It's so bad because they have like roads that flood and shit when that happens. But then he didn't come home at all. So Robin calls the police the next day to see about reporting him missing and was told that she must wait 24 hours from the time that she expected him home.
Not from the last time you seen him?
No. From the last time you expected him home. So that's when he would be missing, as you expected him here and he didn't show up. Yeah. So that's about, 9 o'clock we're talking at night type of thing here. So the next morning, she calls Brian's job and learned that no one there had heard from him. See, maybe he showed up at work. Maybe he drove right to work. So they then she called a friend of his and say, hey, have you seen him? Have you heard from him? And he said, no, I haven't. So then she called the police that night, which is 24 hours, and a policeman came to the house. Mark Chapman, an officer here with the Lake Charles Police Department, showed up, and he went over there at about 4:30 p.m., and was given a statement by Robin that he was supposed to be heading to Beaumont, Texas to go boat shopping in his Honda last time I saw him. Yeah.
That's a fascinating choice of cars.
Not a big pickup truck or anything. He's not going to tow it home. He's just shopping.
No, it's staying there.
It's staying there. Unless they could drop it in the Gulf for him. It's staying there for a while.
Yeah, that's one way to keep yourself from buying a boat. Just drive a Civic.
Drive your Accord up there and see what happens. So July 1st, 2009. okay, because that was the 28th, 29th. Now we're up to July 1st here. This is off of Big Lake Road in this area. It's the end of Wagon Wheel Lane. Now, let me show you this road.
Oh, that's a road?
Yeah, it's dirt. It's dirt. Not even like a foot. Like the middle of it has a lot of a lot of green in it. Yeah, a lot of big chunks of grass. This is not a populated area. This is
that is two ruts in a field.
It's the middle of nowhere. Yeah, and you can see the lake in the background too. It's out there. Now they are called by a guy who was riding an ATV. A guy who had been riding an ATV saw a car out there, and normally there aren't cars out there, and called the police about it. You know, because it's not a road and all.
Right. If somebody on an ATV is panicked about a car being weirdly on this quote-unquote road, that is not a road.
It's not a road. No, this is a four-wheeler path is what it is.
Yeah.
This is not a road that you would take a Honda Civic on either. This is not a Honda road at all. I wouldn't take my car on that fucking road.
No. Absolutely
not. So I'd take your truck, but not your car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my car's kind of a truck, and I still wouldn't take it out
there. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you a little bit about our safest sponsors, Simply Safe. And everyone has routines that you go through, make you feel good, make you feel secure, like you have control over the world. And a lot of times you don't, but you do if you're us. And your routine includes arming your Simply Safe home security system. You know that's going to do well for you. So when we're heading out, both of us, we both have them in our houses, our studios, you lock up for the night.
Yep.
Yeah, this simple step does more than just protect you, gives you peace of mind. You're going to feel good about leaving, and then you're going to know it's going to be the same when you get back. You'll sleep more soundly. I can leave the house with confidence, and it's amazing how a push of a button can give you that kind of confidence. And with Simply Safe, we love it. Like I said, it's in our studios, in our homes. It's really easy to install, too. You can get professional installation also, but if we can put it up, you can put it up. Put it that way. Visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with a professional monitoring plan and get your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small, SIMPLI safe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
And now back to the show.
So I just used NerdWallet's Card Finder tool to find a better card for me. And listeners, this is genius. All you have to do is answer a few questions, and in minutes, you'll get matched with recommendations tailored to you. I'm discovering cards I didn't even know existed, and the matching was on point. The best part? No research needed. The nerds already did that for us. So if you, like me, want to easily find the right card for you, go to nerdwallet.com to get matched today. Terms and conditions apply. Credit products subject to lender approval. See nerdwallet.com for details.
So deputies respond to the scene and they find a car. It's a Honda.
Yeah.
The trunk and doors are open and the car looked like it had been jacked up to change a tire.
Huh.
Okay, so it looks like it's mid-tire change. The car was up on the jack. The lug nuts were removed from a tire while a spare tire, the donut, was on the ground nearby. So this is mid-tire change.
Yeah, it's happening.
So this vehicle that's out here is registered to Robin. This is Robin's vehicle, and they call that in, and they realize that she had reported her husband missing. Mm-hmm. So this is all making sense. A couple other things here. Brian is also nearby the vehicle.
Really?
Some distance away, though. And he is clearly dead and has been dead for a couple days in the Louisiana heat.
Oh, no.
Because it's summer in Louisiana.
Oh, July.
It's hot, man. He's been out here a couple days.
Yeah.
His driver's license was found in the vehicle.
Okay.
Now, according to the autopsy here, it's pretty fucking crazy here. They identify him by dental records in the presence of tattoos on his body because even after a couple days, the decomp is setting in.
Pretty serious.
So the coroner estimated the time of death to be sometime after 12 p.m. on June 29th. He's dead of 4 gunshot wounds.
Oh, boy.
3 to the torso and 1 to the head. And they think they think he was hit once, started running, hit 2 more times, fell, and then somebody did the last shot in the head to make sure here, which is very odd here. His shoes were off, and his belt was loosened. So that makes no sense. Like he was chilling out in front of the fire, getting ready to watch some TV or some shit.
Hey, you're rarely dressed like that, changing a tire.
In a field, especially. It's just weird. So it's not like it was in your garage and you were changing a tire. So that was odd. They said it appeared that either he was having some kind of encounter with somebody, like sexual,
sure,
or someone was looking for something on him. Mm-hmm. Now, the thing is, though, he had a big, known to be valuable ring on his hand that was still on his hand.
Still there.
Still there. But the firearm that he carries everywhere was not in the car or at the scene. Okay. His GPS and his laptop are also gone, and we know those are going to be in the car. So that's interesting. And the problem is, this happened on a night of very inclement weather, and there's been storms since then. So a lot of forensic evidence, especially ones from the lug nuts and the jack, are probably gone if there was DNA on there. So that's a problem. Now, they are going to pull a couple of samples, though, which is interesting.
Okay.
Now, they tell Robin, your husband's dead. Second husband in fucking a year and a half is dead.
So fast, yeah.
So fast. You are... like
very rare that happens.
Yeah, you don't see that often. So it's with young people. These, this guy's 40 for Christ's sake. He's not 80. He's not Gene Hackman for fuck's sake. Sorry,
Still,
too soon for Gene Hackman. Yeah, that was wild.
Fucking upset.
We found out. We expected this to be like juicy,
crazy, yeah,
or carbon monoxide, and it turns out it's just weird.
It's just.
And it's sad because he was like just had Alzheimer's and didn't even know it was happening, and
wandered around the house. And how about that too? That he was so precarious that he could have dropped at any second.
Yeah,
he needed that poor woman so bad.
Oh yeah. He didn't know what he was doing. He was in bad shape.
Yeah.
So the cops tell Robin about this, and they said at the time she was dry heaving and or vomiting when she heard about it. She was cooperative with the detectives and told them that on the day he disappeared, he was supposed to be going boat shopping in Beaumont. She also said that he had been, quote, rat-holing, which sounds sexual, but it's not, rat-holing about $700 for a new boat. He's been rat-holing it. Pay your mortgage.
Why don't you rat-hole that on over to U.S. Bank and pay your fucking mortgage?
Or your child support, but whatever. They asked if he kept his money in his sock, and she said he did from time to time because of the nature of his job collecting insurance premiums. Okay. In cash? Door to door? How is he collecting insurance? What are you talking about?
Is that a known dangerous job?
I would think that's all electronic and checks and you mail them. I don't think a guy comes to your house and he's like, hey, where's your fucking health insurance payment? Nah, cash, asshole, cash.
I haven't seen my fucking insurance agent in
ever.
5 years.
I've never seen them. Called them and they send me emails and that's it. That's what I know.
I showed up to his office, dropped him a check, and he was like, oh, you could have just mailed this. I was like, all right, well, then that's what I'll do next one.
I have an app on my phone. It's all electronic. Done. Don't even fuck with it. July 2nd, 2009. Now, the next day, they sit Robin down and get a timeline from her. They try to pin down a timeline of who did what and when. Yeah. The subject of the extramarital affairs came up, of course. They said she appeared stone-faced during this interview and didn't shed any tears as people were offering her consolation and saying they were sorry about it. Sure. So this detective spoke with her in order to gather background information and establish a timeline of maybe the whereabouts of the Brian on the day he died here. So Robin told this detective that the victim, Brian, took off for work early that morning. She said that he drove her Trailblazer to work because his Honda Accord was having wheel trouble.
Oh.
So he wanted to go boat shopping, so he came home early from work. This guy has financial problems. He's coming home early from work to go boat shopping.
He's leaving the place that makes him money.
So 11 a.m. Here he leaves work. And the two of them, Robin and Brian, went boat shopping in Lake Charles and then went to Jerry's Marine in Sulphur, a town called Sulphur.
Gross.
A town of the worst smell that's ever existed. Yep. Great. Mm-hmm. They arrived back at home at about 2:30 or 3 that afternoon. She said at that time he took his Honda Accord and headed to Beaumont to continue his boat shopping. Now, if his car was too fucked up to go to work, who's taking it on an hour-and-a-half trip out of state?
Great question.
It makes no sense whatsoever.
It does a road trip at all with a car that's not reliable to go 10 minutes away.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I guess the Amy Davis, who is I think it's his sister-in-law, Brian's sister-in-law, spoke with a boat dealership in Beaumont that remembered Brian calling to say he was headed that way to look at a specific model, but he never made it there.
Oh.
So we're pretty sure he never made it to Beaumont to begin with here. So Robin said, though, when he headed to Beaumont in his Accord, she took her Trailblazer to go run errands, go to the cleaners, the grocery store, and get an oil change. They said that they talk about the life insurance policy. She said, well, he had 2 life insurance policies, one for $90,000 and one for $40,000.
Okay.
She also told the detective that she learned in March 2009 that he had been having an affair with Fanny Dietz, a coworker. When she found out about it, she confronted Dietz here. She said it was, just to put that out there. I did confront a woman. There was some drama there. She said she had an alibi, though. She said that on the day her husband went missing, she's running errands with Sissy. That's all. Then she talked about Fanny Dietz and all that. So Kelsey comes in, Robin's daughter. She said she arrived at the house here. Again, she lives here, it looks like, at around 7:30 in the morning the day he was killed. Kelsey was with her boyfriend, and they went to sleep until approximately 2 p.m.
She works the night shift?
I hope so.
God
yeah.
damn.
Or either that or they just had a fuck afternoon. Now, Kelsey left with her boyfriend and didn't arrive back home until 9 p.m. that night. According to Kelsey, Robin told her that Brian never came home from work and no one could get in touch with him. So they said that, and she also said that when the police called her and told her about that he died, that she was crying and throwing up. Okay. July 4th now, 4th of July, here in Louisiana's playground, I would think the outdoor shit, they'd be going crazy on this day.
Yeah, there's a place called Independence close by.
Oh, it's happening. Instead, though, there's a funeral that day.
Oh, boy.
Now, Robin went to the funeral, but there's a post-funeral memorial service where they're all going to talk too. Yeah. She skipped that and went and played video poker.
They really do love it.
They love this video poker, dude. On the way to work, at my husband's funeral, doesn't matter.
I mean, there's no better way to honor a man that has that video poker addiction than
That's it.
Running a few hands.
So a few days go by, July 9th comes, and the detectives receive permission from Robin to search her residence and the Trailblazer. And they also, with the help of Justin, her son, they collect a box of ammunition that belonged to Brian. It contained 9mm Hydra-Shock rounds.
Wow.
Okay. Now, Robin gave a formal statement on the 9th. In this statement, she repeated much of what she already told them. She told them that she spoke to Brian once after she and he went their separate ways on the day of the murder. Okay. Then when she attempted to call again, the call went straight to voicemail. Mm-hmm. She also said she told detectives that before she and Brian left to go boat shopping, that Brian had went to Kroger to get his sick daughter, Bailey, some soup. She lives here, too. How many people fucking live in this house, dude? It's a trailer.
There's just bodies everywhere, man.
I'm counting at least 6 people so far that live in the adults.
Yeah. That's a loud sleepy time. If anybody snores, this is a nightmare.
There can't be more than 3 small bedrooms in this joint. There can't be. It's a fucking trailer. So this is wild. Catherine Davis, Brian's sister, said that Robin told her that Brian never returned from Kroger. Mm-hmm. In her statement to detectives, though, Robin said that she and he went boat shopping after he returned from Kroger and later split ways. Okay. So we don't know if maybe Brian's sister is confused and in her,
somebody is.
In her just sadness, she didn't really get the timeline right or whatever, but that could be that. So we'll give her that. After they split, though, Robin says she picked up Sissy to go run errands, and she also told the detective that the Fanny Dietz's husband, Shane, threatened to beat Brian's ass and get him fired as well.
Oh, my God. She's married, too.
Oh, yeah. They're both married. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, my God.
So the district manager for the insurance company said that Brian told him that his mistress's husband, Shane, might try to have him fired. Hey, just in case this comes up, I'm plowing Fanny. So that could be a problem later for everybody. So they said, how was your finances? They asked her, Robin.
Great.
She said her account was overdrawn by almost $800.
Oh, my God.
I don't even know how you overdraw $800. I don't know how they keep letting you take it.
That's probably not just one overdraft. That's several, and that's how it compounds and compiles.
And that her house, the fucking mortgage hasn't been paid since March.
We are in July?
We're in July. And
holy fuck.
They currently own 0 car insurance for anything they own.
Nothing is insured. You're insurance people.
You go to, and you're just going to play video poker. I don't know what to say here about this. I don't mean to judge people, but that seems irresponsible. You know what I mean?
At some point, you probably just give up and say, fuck it. But
I'm going down with the ship. I got nothing anyway, I guess. I don't
know. You're only 4 months behind on your mortgage. Maybe start scraping, sell some shit, get it together.
That's what I mean. I don't know what's going on. So
fiscally responsible.
It's a lot, dude. So she said that despite their financial situation, that Daryl Pettifer of Jerry's Marine said that on the day Brian was murdered, he was looking at a $30,000 boat.
30 grand,
which at the time is worth more than his house, literally. He told this guy he planned to pay for the boat with a settlement or a lump sum of cash that he was getting in the near future. From where? What are we talking about?
I don't know how much he's coming into.
I don't know anything. I don't know any money he's got coming up to him. There's nothing like in the pipeline that he's waiting for a thing or like, somebody died and he's getting an inheritance. None of that. So the district attorney asked the detective to look at withdrawals and expenditures beginning in February 2009. The record showed overdraft charges, frequent withdrawals, and withdrawals at gaming establishments. In particular, on July 10th, Robin Davis her card was used to purchase $102.75 at casino gaming, which is probably the ATM and a ATM fee. Yep. On July 11th, here, she wrote 4 checks at KD's Diner, $202.75, $102.75, $102.75, and $62.75.
We got to start some ATM businesses. They're
crushing
lucrative.
It, and that's the place that has the video poker at the diner.
Okay, yeah.
Then they look at her cell records here, and they became concerned, the detective said, with information they learned from her cell phone records. A call made by Robin at 3:50 p.m. pinged off a tower on Elliott Road in Lake Charles. According to the detective, the tower is just south of the area, where she had been claiming to run errands. Okay. There's other towers that would have pinged her if she was in that area.
Oh, so she's too far from it. Okay.
Yeah. They bring in Franny Dietz for questioning, which I would consider her.
You mean
definitely?
Fanny?
Yeah. Or did I say Franny? Fanny,
yeah.
Yes. Fanny Dietz here. They bring her in for questioning. She's obviously considered a person of interest because her husband had threatened to beat his ass. So,
fired.
Yeah, she knew about that. And also, I guess she said that Robin's son, Justin, didn't get along with Brian either. So Fanny said they had an affair for about a year and a half. It ended in March 2009 when Robin confronted her about it. According to her husband Shane also confronted Brian about the affair. Shane confirmed that he confronted Brian about the affair, but denied ever threatening him. So Fanny was questioned and took officers to a spot at which she had previously used to meet him, I guess to fuck in a car. They described it as being a spot off of Henry Pugh Boulevard, which runs off of Big Lake Road near Calcasieu Point Landing. So that's in this area. The body was found less than a mile from here.
Away from his fuck spot?
Away from his fuck spot, yeah.
Uh-oh.
So the detective also says that her phone record showed that she was, she was far away from here on June 29th. She was in Crowley that day. So the detective also says that Shane, her husband's phone records show that he was not in Lake Charles on June 29th either. So that neither of them were around that day. They're clear, pretty much. They said there was a gap of several hours between phone calls for both Mr. and Mrs. Dietz, and Shane's records showed that he made a phone call at 2:50 p.m., then received no other calls or texts until he received a text at 10:54 p.m., which complete radio silence from anybody in the world for fucking hours like that.
Congratulations.
And the phone records for Fanny showed no activity between 9:28 a.m. and 4:56 p.m. So maybe these
5 hours?
Shit, 5. That's fucking 7.5. From 9:28 a.m. to 4:56 p.m. It's like 7.5 hours.
I was going the other way. Why did I do that?
I don't know. So, and then according to the detectives also, they spoke with Shane's boss, who verified that he was at work on the day of the disappearance. And digging more into the cell records, they'd clear the deetses. They didn't do it. Right. Now, the insurance, when they spoke with Davis, she said $90,000 and $40,000. Remember? That was the insurance money that she was getting from Brian. Later on, however, they learned from the State Farm insurance agent that there were 2 additional policies, one in the amount of $100,000 and another in the amount of $250,000 that she didn't tell them about.
You're talking about $400,000 that she's going to get out of this?
Yep, and there's a couple other ones here and there that have an additional $150,000 for accidental deaths.
Oh my God!
4 policies totaling $645,000.
Oh my God!
Which is a lot more than $130,000.
That's life-changing.
That's especially if you live in a trailer that's 5 months behind your fucking mortgage. You could buy the whole neighborhood for that.
Yeah, that only costs $40,000 today.
Oh my God! So they also dug into it and figured out that Robin collected an insurance payout after her first husband died in a car accident.
Oh yeah.
So they're like, who gets 2 insurance payouts in a year and a half?
Right.
That's
of this much money that literally doesn't need anywhere near this much money.
They're thinking maybe she realized dead husband means insurance money.
Yeah, this
you know
is
what I mean?
Very lucrative business.
So physical evidence. Now, one of the deputies that responded to the murder scene said that Brian's vehicle appeared to be having tire trouble. The lug nuts were taken off in one of the tires, and the spare tire was on the ground. In order to protect the tire from further damage during the towing process, they replaced the deputy replaced the seemingly damaged tire with the spare. Why would you do that? Don't do that.
Why would he touch that?
The tire was taken to Southern Tire Mart to be examined for defects. The store manager testified later that he found no defects in the tire. So it wasn't there was nothing wrong with the tire. Why it would have been changed. Which is strange. They also said that it does not happen often, but new tires sometimes will leak if they're not sealed well around the rim. They said there's also situations which a tire can go flat even if there's no damage to the outer part of the tire. There's lots of ways a tire can go flat. Yeah, if your valve is a little fucked up or something like that.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. I was thinking that air can just come through the rubber.
Yeah, just coming out. So the Southwest Louisiana crime lab person, Lynn Miller, was asked to examine fingerprints lifted from the crime scene in the case. The fingerprints were lifted from the car jack, the windows of the Honda Accord, and an iPod found in the car. Remember iPods? Oh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The spare tire rim and the mirror on the sun visor of the Accord. The only fingerprint that they were able to identify was Robin's fingerprint on the mirror of the sun visor.
Oh, yeah.
Another person that works with the lab performed DNA analysis on several items recovered from the crime scene, because this is 2009, so we got a lot of DNA shit going on. Yeah. The victim's body was too decomposed to yield a blood sample. 2 days that took for that to happen. 3 days.
He had no more blood in him?
Gone.
Wow.
That is wild. He bled out and then dried up. Yeah. She said that this medical examiner explained that the only way to obtain a known DNA profile from someone is to obtain a sample directly from the person's fluid or cellular material. She concluded that DNA found on the victim's belt, fingernails, a bottle cap found at the scene, and his driver's license belonged to an unidentified male. We're going to assume that's Brian, basically. Okay. So they said it was most likely the victim. She reached this opinion by examining a bunch of shit and figuring it out, basically. So they compared DNA found on the belt buckle and beer bottle and all that stuff here. They discovered no female DNA on any of the items recovered from the scene.
Okay.
Now, the gun, his stepson, I guess, Justin, Robin's son, said that he always kept a Springfield XD 9mm handgun either on his person or in his car, always with him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, common, easy, 15 in the chamber on that one, right? Or 15 in the clip on that one. That's a
very common pistol, too.
Yeah.
Fucking mass produced, Jesus.
Totally. Yeah, I have a BB version of that exact gun.
Yeah.
We have exact shit for my targets here. So they looked at tool mark identifications and ballistics and examined the projectiles of the body here.
Thank you to our partner, Mentos Gum.
You ever feel like you're just going through the same motions day after day? We've all been there. Staring at brake lights, in traffic, or stuck in a long meeting. Not anymore with Mentos gum. Listen up. This isn't just your regular gum. We're talking about a whole vibe refresh. Think of it as your personal reset button. One piece, and suddenly that traffic jam becomes your private concert venue. That meeting that should have been an email, it turns into a full-on fiesta. From flavors like fresh mint to bold strawberry, Mentos gum transforms ordinary moments into fresh possibilities. Whether you want to switch up your route home or keep your mind fresh in a meeting, refresh the everyday with Mentos gum. Yes to fresh with Mentos gum.
The stench of sweaty uniforms in a football team's locker room can be unbearable. But Arm & Hammer Deep Clean Laundry Detergents fights the toughest odors to deliver a championship-level clean. Arm & Hammer Deep Clean Detergents are the brand's most powerful formulas yet that can penetrate deep between fibers to tackle tough dirt and odors. Just like an elite defense, its pH Power technology sends in millions of ionic microscrubbers to dominate the toughest stains and odors. And unlike those premium tickets, with the trusted value of Arm & Hammer, you don't need deep pockets for a deep clean. Available in liquid or convenient power packs, it works in all machines and temperatures, even cold water. When it comes to tough stains and odors, put Arm & Hammer Deep Clean in your starting lineup. Pick up Arm & Hammer Deep Clean today. Available in-store or online at major retailers nationwide.
It's time to transform your healthcare experience with Amazon One Medical Pay-Per-Visit. Perhaps you're dealing with hair loss or looking to clear your skin. One Medical PPV offers upfront, affordable healthcare available 24/7. Easily access treatments for common concerns like ED, hair loss, and prescription solutions for beauty and skincare. With One Medical PPV, you can quickly connect with a provider right from home. No insurance necessary, just one flat fee per visit. Plus, you'll receive transparent pricing and fast free medication delivery through Amazon Pharmacy. Head to www.amazon.com/OMPPV to learn more. That's amazon.com/OMPPV. A provider determines eligibility. Prices may vary.
According to this guy here, Douglas Lancone, who's the expert in firearms and tool mark identification, the two projectiles were fired from the same gun and were characteristic of Federal's Hydro-Shock design. So on cross-examination, later, he'll acknowledge that there are at least 11 manufacturers that could have made the gun that fired the bullets, one of which was Springfield. Uh-huh. Now, Robin's mom said that she deposited $4,000 into Robin's account around the time of the disappearance. She said Robin told her mom that she was instructed by police not to use the account since Brian was missing. So, because they wanted to track in case he used it at all. So Robin's mom said she did not know that he was dead when Robin asked her for the money. When asked if she ever told the police that Robin told her the account was frozen because of the death investigation, the mom said if she did, it was because he was already dead at the time she was being interviewed. She said, I deposited $4,000 into a new account for my daughter, Robin Davis, around the time of the funeral. I don't know exactly when, but I know it was after he had died. Now, later on, though, they figure out that that the deposit was made on July 1st, the day he was found. Okay. Which is not missing. The deposit was made before they found the body. So that's odd. You know what I mean? Now there's Stephanie Wells. She's another one who was living at the house at the time.
I don't know how.
Wow, she's a good friend and lives with them. She said she had eye surgery the day he disappeared. She said that she remembered seeing Sissy's car parked in the grass when they left for surgery. She said she returned home from surgery about 10:30 a.m. She did not recall seeing Sissy's car at the residence at that point. She said that Robin was home when this woman returned home, and Brian arrived a few minutes later. Brian asked this woman if she would watch his daughter, Bailey, while they went boat shopping. Hey, person who just had surgery, will you babysit for me so I can go boat shopping for money with money I don't have?
Watch my kid. I had surgery on my eyes.
Yeah,
I can't watch anything.
I can't watch shit at this point. Yeah. So she said she never saw Brian again, but Robin returned home around 5 p.m. She said Wells said she called Brian between 3 and 3:30, but the phone call went to voicemail. At 3:42, she sent him a text message stating that Bailey was not feeling well. They said that the cell phone records indicate that she tried to call him at 3:42. The call went straight to voicemail. The voicemail was followed by a text message stating that Bailey was ill. She didn't get a call back, but she did get it from him, but she did get a call back from Robin. According to this, Robin called Ms. Wells at 3:50 p.m., and this woman assumed that Brian and Robin were still together. And she says she thinks Robin told her she was going to run errands at that point. So there's a lot of this. She also acknowledged that Robin made this call to her around 3:50 p.m., and she said that Robin and Sissy arrived home from running errands at 5 or 5:30 p.m. And then she also said that when she found out about the death, that Robin was very distraught and crying. Yeah. So there's that. Now, she did not believe that his Honda was there when she left. But when she returned, she believed that that Sissy's Jetta was gone and the Honda was there. So it's very confusing. July 13th, they talked to Robin again. Let's figure this out, okay? She repeated much of the same shit here. She explained that the Honda was not at the house in the morning of the murder because Sissy had drove it home the night before when her car would not start because she left her lights on. But Sissy lives there most of the time. But here's what I don't get. I thought the wheel was fucked up, and that's why he didn't take it.
Well, now it's got a bad battery, too.
Well, no. That's Sissy's car had a bad battery. So Sissy was using the Honda.
She's using the...
Earlier, she said he didn't take the Honda because the wheel was fucked up. Now she's saying he didn't take the Honda because Sissy had it.
Okay.
So that's what's different. She said that Sissy told her the Jetta, her car, was good and that she could come pick it up. According to Robin, Sissy picked up the Jetta and left the Accord at their house while Robin and Brian were boat shopping. She said that we split ways, me and my husband split ways between 2:30 and 3 in the afternoon. Robin talked to Brian about 3 o'clock while driving to Sissy's house because apparently she had just moved out. So Robin had to wait for Sissy to get ready. The two then went to the cleaners, Albertsons grocery store, and back to the residence. When told by the detectives that her cell phone was being used in the area of the murder, she said she wasn't there. She said she'd never been in the area where the murder occurred until after the body had been found. She had no explanation for her cell phone being used in that area during the murder.
Well, that's not good.
Let's talk to Sissy. Let's see what Sissy's got to say here.
Let's do that.
Because she's the mystery here. So she said she was at the Davis home all afternoon the day before the murder, which was a Sunday. She said when Sissy started to leave around midnight, her car wouldn't start. So Robin told her to take the Honda since he would be driving the Trailblazer to work the next morning. The next morning, Davis called Sissy to tell her that Brian would be needing the Honda. Sissy put $5 to $10 worth of gas in the car and drove it to the residence. She's like, that's about how much I used.
It's not 1994. That's nothing.
That's nothing. So according to the detective, a video from ShopRite showed Sissy at the store shortly after 11 p.m. According to Sissy, she drove the Accord to Davis's residence, and then Robin drove Sissy back home. So Sissy claims she stayed home until Robin picked her up to run errands later that afternoon. Remember, after they had split ways during boat shopping. Sissy was not ready when Robin arrived, so they did not leave to run errands until an hour later. Took you an hour to get ready to fucking run errands? Brush your teeth and get out there. What are you doing?
Put some fucking underwear on.
That's all. So when they left the house, they went straight to the dry cleaners, then to Albertsons. At first, Sissy stated that Robin drove while running errands, but later remembered that she drove. They completed the errands and arrived at the residence around 5 or 5:30. When the victim here, Brian, was still missing on Tuesday, Sissy drove around looking for him. Because he had previously taken them fishing at that one point, the Calcasu Point, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Thank you, Louisiana people. Sissy drove to that point to look for him. When asked what she thought about the fact that this point was so close to the murder scene, she replied she never thought about that. No. Okay. They said, well, it was found less than a mile away. What the fuck? Anyway, she also told them that she had no knowledge of the death at all. Then at one point they explained the difference to Sissy between first and second degree murder. Oh. And she asked if he thought she killed. Do you think I did it? And he said he thought she had some direct or indirect knowledge of the murder, and she stated that she did not know what happened and said, "I'm leaving now," and fucking took off.
Smart move.
Yeah, I'm done with this interview. So that was done. Now there's a video from Walgreens. Based on the fact that Robin stated she went to the drugstore on the morning of the disappearance, the detective obtained a video from Walgreens. The video is introduced into evidence. The video shows that at 8:52 on the morning of June 29th, both Sissy and Robin are together entering the store, which they absolutely said they were not together. Remember that? According to the detective, Sissy never mentioned going to the drugstore with her because they weren't supposed to be together yet till afterwards. They also noticed in their separate interrogations between Robin and Sissy that they were caught in lies, numerous lies about their whereabouts that day. However, neither woman tried to throw the other one under the bus. Neither one tried to be like, well, maybe she did this or maybe she did that. The one investigator said they were joined at the hip the whole time. So after creating this detailed map of all the movements on the day of the murder, including times of events and vehicles that were being driven, they theorized that Sissy staged the flat tire because she had the Accord.
Right.
She staged the flat tire, and Brian was called to go to the scene to help, is what they think.
Okay.
As he knelt to fix the flat, they think he was shot in the back, tried to run for his life, but was shot 3 more times and died.
Oh, my God.
The detectives theorized that each woman fired the weapon, which makes no sense. I'll shoot it twice, then hand it to you, and you shoot it a couple times. What are we doing? 12? Doing a gang initiation? No.
Or maybe when he was hit those 2 times and he fell down, maybe the other grabbed the gun and said,
I'm a better shot. Yeah, I don't know.
Put one in his head.
So the phone pings are a big thing. There's a lot of shit with the phone pings, and I'm trying to get to the ones that matter the most. One is a Robin Davis call at 3:50 p.m. During this call, Davis's phone originated at Sprint Tower 4045 and ended up 2 minutes and 23 seconds later on Sprint Tower 3045. According to the agents here, neither Tower 4045 nor Tower 3045 can be utilized at the murder scene. However, the towers can be used a half a mile up the road from the murder scene. That's where they start pinging.
Okay.
They're talking about how this is a more rural area out here, so there are less cell towers. So a cell tower pinging might have an 8 square mile radius of where it could be, whereas if you're in the city, you can get block to block type of shit. So they said that using mapping software and a drive test to find the most direct route from Jerry's Marine to the areas covered by these towers, the towers used by Robin during a 350 call, the mapping program and drive testing showed a distance of 21 miles and approximate travel time of 28 minutes. They opined that it was possible for Robin and the victim to arrive at the murder scene by 3:36 p.m. Robin's phone calls then or after 3:50 p.m. would show that she moved a little to the east and then to the southeast and then back into the vicinity of her residence. So they're saying she could have killed him and been on that cell tower by 3:50.
Wow.
At 4:39, she made a phone call that used Sprint Tower 2280. Both AAA cleaners and Albertsons are in the coverage area for that tower. Then at 9:36, she's pinged at a tower that serves her residence. So, yeah, that's interesting. Very, very interesting. They said that the victim's phone, the phone used cell tower 3045, the same tower used by Robin's phone in her 350 call. His phone made a call at 3:44 p.m., lasting 2 seconds from there. 2 seconds. So that's very, very fucking interesting. They also said that Robin's cell phone used cell tower 3045 at 7:31 the day before the murder and 3:50 the day of the murder. So I think they might have been scoping out the spot to do it. So the theory is, obviously, they review everything and they opine that because the Accord was not muddy, the vehicle also had to have arrived at the scene before it rained on the day of the murder.
Yeah.
The meteorology reports from Lake Charles Airport indicate that the rain began around 3:45 p.m. on the day of the murder and lasted till 7 p.m.
Okay.
So that's out of her. She's fucking that all up. They also noted there was a live round located near the victim's vehicle. They said that they may indicate the person firing the weapon is not particularly familiar with this firearm.
Oh.
Maybe they had one in the chamber and they cocked it and shot it out.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's what they're thinking. They said that the shooter may have been standing and the victim bending over when he was shot in the back. They also think that they don't know if he was shot with his own gun. They're looking at the information concerning the brand of the live round found at the scene and all of that. And they said the evidence at the scene supports a probability that he may have been shot with his own gun.
Dang it.
Given there's a particular type of ammunition called hydroshocks and, shootings that I've investigated, you rarely ever see hydroshocks with the exception of law enforcement personnel and shooting enthusiasts. And he was one of those. So he said that the fact that the bullets recovered from the body were hydroshocks and the cartridge casings found at the scene were federal just lends more support that he may have been shot with his own gun. So, but he said he wasn't able to ever get his firearm to make a definitive determination. November 2009, Robin and Sissy are both indicted for murder.
Yeah.
They got them both. But they said it's a tough one. There's no murder weapon, no DNA, no witnesses.
All
no
we got
nothing.
are cell towers. Yeah.
And it's shaky on those.
Right.
And just logic. So
we got cell towers and assumptions that they're lying.
That's it. Yeah. So 2011 is jury is picked, but when they're supposed to be sworn in, the prosecutor has a health problem and it's delayed.
Okay.
So there's a delay. The original jurors later on are recalled, but they're eventually dismissed and a new jury is chosen because of an illness by the prosecutor. That's going to come up later. So in 2012, the trial comes up here. Prosecutor displays the fully inflated tire that Brian drove out to change, a fine tire. So they said the tire was a lie. He wasn't changing a tire. The prosecutor said working in concert with the women, working in concert, the women lured Davis to the secluded area to kill him for, who knows why. Now, Sissy argues that the state's case against her is especially weak and circumstantial, devoid of any evidence that she was present during the commission of the murder, and she doesn't even get any fucking insurance money. Right. She says that the evidence, when viewed in a light most favorable to the state, merely shows that her cell phone may have been within a geographical area constituting numerous square miles at times she says she was not. And she says that not surprising that her stories would be wrong, given that few people can recall hour by hour what they did weeks before and under extreme grief and stress. Okay. So the crime scene guy says he believed the whole incident was staged because of all the documentation and that I examined and showed that a tire was fairly recently purchased and there's no defects in it. He said, as far as I know, it held its charge of air once it was charged. So someone just let the air out of it. No defects on it. They said also he had a compressor in the trunk of his car, and I don't know whether or not his compressor was functioning or not, but if his tire was flat, instead of changing the tire, perhaps he could have tried the compressor first. Right. So medical death examiner comes up and, says the same thing about the car and about, the mud and everything like that. And they talk about that he was found in a secluded area and that his belt was unbuckled and his shoes and a sock were off. Okay. And they said that yes, because the defense says, couldn't he have been getting undressed when he was killed? And they said that, I guess, but sure, anything's possible. So the defense brings in their own communications expert as well to try to thwart the ping theories here. Prosecution in closing says, quote, he had an affair. She caught him in the affair. She confronted him about the affair. Number two, she had no money, and yet she was out gambling, video poker. We showed her bank records, overdrafts, overdraws, all the insurance proceeds. He had over $700,000 in insurance proceeds, and her friend were joined at the hip. She said so. Sissy drove the Honda Accord to Wagon Wheel Road, feigned a flat tire rather than going home and switching cars, as Robin claimed. They said that she and Brian drove the Trailblazer straight from Jerry's Marine to Wagon Wheel Road. And they said either way, whoever did the shooting, it doesn't matter. They were both in on it and they're both there. So the defense says the state has to put on sufficient evidence and they didn't do it in this case. So they're innocent because of that. Didn't prove the case. Okay. Sissy's attorney said it's hard to find any evidence that Sissy Saltzman or Robin Davis did anything more than have inconsistent statements to the police, which is not enough to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that someone committed a crime. They said was Brian, and then they also said maybe Brian Davis was going to engage in some monetary transaction that was illegal on the day of his demise. Maybe that's why he was boat shopping. Maybe. Was he killed in a drug deal gone bad? Was he engaged in sexual conduct when he was caught by a jealous husband or boyfriend and killed? Did he drive his car to Wagon Wheel Road, leave it parked there, and leave in another vehicle belonging to someone else? Why would he do that?
Who knows?
That makes no sense. Then they also, when they go to the jury, it's going to be the second-degree murder or manslaughter and all that. The defense gets the lesser charges taken off.
So it's only murder?
Your only choice is murder because they figure they won't convict them of that, but they might do a compromise and convict them on manslaughter.
That's ballsy.
It's real ball. It's an all-or-nothing thing here. So the verdict comes in. By the way, this is an 11-1 verdict.
Oh.
Louisiana did not have to have unanimous verdicts until 2019. So, wow.
Don't disparage that great state.
Yeah, let's disparage it. Come on, everybody. Let's disparage
murdering
Louisiana.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
Think about how many people Harry Connick Sr. sentenced to death on juries that weren't even unanimous. That's remarkable.
He's a monster.
So, following an 11-1 verdict, they are both found guilty of second-degree murder.
Really?
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. I mean, I think they did it, but I don't know if there's enough to convict them in a court. So,
that's fascinating.
During sentencing, during the victim impact, Brian's mother said that he loans his car to Sissy. He allows her to use it because her car is supposedly broken down, all this type of shit. And he says that it's complete bullshit. She says, and we all know it was no more flat than it was full, and it stayed inflated the entire time. They left the tire full of air sitting in the court the whole time. So you could watch it day after day, not losing any air.
That's a burner. Yeah.
That's a good one there. They both maintained their innocence during sentencing.
I guess you have to. I don't know.
Robin said she'd continue to fight for her freedom, and Sissy claims she would know no peace until the real killer was found. Wow.
Okay.
The judge.
I will not rest.
I will not rest. That's what OJ said. The judge told them it was a senseless act of selfishness for their own gain, and there was sufficient evidence to support the guilty verdict. You, ma'ams, may fuck off. Life without parole for both of them. Without.
Louisiana.
Wow. And now they can't have the insurance money either, which goes to his mother now, Brian's mother. 2014, the Louisiana Supreme Court voted 6-1 not to hear their appeals. They said the central issue of double jeopardy could be appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court, but he didn't say whether they'd appeal. 2014, the U.S. Supreme Court says, no thanks. We don't want to hear it.
We don't even care.
2018, voters in Louisiana finally vote to abolish non-unanimous juries. Then 2 years later, the Supreme Court declares them unconstitutional anyway, which also brings that to end in Oregon, where they also did that.
What do they do about this?
This stays on. It's not
stand?
Retroactive. Yeah, that would be a nightmare. That would
be crazy.
Millions of people out of jail. So then 2019, they're reappealing again, and it's not going well for them. They're denied a new trial. Okay. So they said, basically, you're arguing sufficiency of evidence, which is up to the jury. And they made their decision. Right. There was an Indiegogo campaign called Bring Brian Home. She buried Brian in Lake Charles, which is hours away from his family in Independence. Okay. Yeah. So they said in this, adding insult to injury, Robin had Brian buried on the 4th of July with numerous overtures and innuendos. She also had Brian buried in a mausoleum, far out of sight, far out of reach, tucked away as if he were a pair of old socks. His family and loved ones lived 3 hours away, and most have no idea how to even find his burial site. His children seldom are able to visit his burial site due to the great distance. His mother with health conditions seldom gets to visit. Blah, blah, blah. They want to bring him to Independence and bury him.
It's a mausoleum, so it's in a drawer, right?
It's in a drawer. So, yeah, they want to pull him out, take him over there.
Okay.
The campaign was for $8,500, and they raised 3% of it. They raised $330 of this, which is sad. And
when was that?
That was 2009. It's been over for years. Jeez. And it still says on Find a Grave, his burial is in Lake Charles, so they never moved him, it sounds like. There is a Facebook page also, Free Carol, Sissy Saltzman, and Robin Davis, which has 785 likes and 824 followers.
That's way too many.
That's a lot. So there you go, everybody. there's Lake Charles, Louisiana, very quickly through the end. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Check that out. Also, give us a review on whatever site or whatever app you're listening on. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Tickets to live shows, Chicago in May. Virtual live show, April 19th, available for 2 weeks after that. Patreon.com/CrimeInSports. All the bonus material you could possibly want. $5 and above. This week, we talk about more sports songs for Crime and Sports, and we talk about a crazy con man named Louis Carlucci, the nickname Con Juan, back in the 80s. It's really funny stuff. That is patreon.com/Crime and Sports, and a shout out at the end of the regular show. That said, thank you so much, everybody, and until next week, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
Imagine this. You help your little brother land a great job abroad. But when he arrives, the job doesn't exist. Instead, he's trapped in a heavily guarded compound, forced to sit at a computer and scam innocent victims, all while armed guards stand by with shoot-to-kill orders. Scam Factory, the explosive new true crime podcast from Wondery, exposes a multi-billion-dollar criminal empire operating in plain sight. Told through one family's harrowing account of sleepless nights, desperate phone calls, and dangerous rescue attempts, Scam Factory reveals a brutal truth. The only way out is to scam their way out. Follow Scam Factory on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of Scam Factory early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.